Hi, welcome to the special edition of Hannity, Trump versus the radical left. And tonight we start with some pretty amazing news. Look at this. I doubt the media mob will be focused on it, but the Donald Trump economy just broke another huge record. For the first time in recorded history, the African-American unemployment rate in the United States is down to 5.5%. That is an all-time low. And that's not all. The unemployment gap between white Americans, black Americans is also at a record low. In other words, our economy is now humming on all cylinders and thankfully working for our entire family, all Americans. The president's tax cuts, they were a huge success. The president's deregulation, a huge success. The new trade deals with Mexico, Canada, the European Union, Japan, a big win for American goods. And by the way, I would expect that the deal with China is going to be free and more fair at the end of the day. And then to top it all off, Americans are now safer. Look at this. Nationwide, violent crime is down significantly by a lot. And, oh, by the way, construction of the wall, the biggest unreported story this week, is well underway. The president this week, media's not focused on it, Nancy Pelosi's mad, after securing the $3.6 billion in new funding, the wall is going up as we speak. The video on your screen is showing the progress at the border in Yuma, Arizona. Oh, that's from last week alone. And the president is saying we'll get 500 miles built by the end of next year. Nancy Pelosi tonight is furious. She vowed to challenge the funding in court. Problem is, there are laws that we have cited on this program as it relates to the president legally being able to build walls and barriers to stop drug corridors. And that law also is backed up by something called the Constitution. And you see, the Constitution says he is the commander in chief, and we don't want the 90% of heroin in this country that crosses that border to enter any longer. So we can end the terrible cycle of losing nearly 300 Americans a week. Now, Nancy Pelosi, a lot of Democrats, they supported Obama's wall, but they don't support Trump's wall. That's their problem. In fact, Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to address the crisis on our southern border at all. And even though today, by the way, in her own state of California, look at this, Nancy, just like we showed a mile from your house, needles, urination, defecation problems, an illegal immigrant accused of shooting police officers was just apprehended after a high-speed pursuit. Now, here's another problem, Ms. Pelosi, Madam Speaker, if you are Speaker, in name only. He was previously released, allegedly because of California's cities and their state sanctuary laws. Oh, in other words, aiding and abetting those people that already committed crimes and not handing them over to ICE to be deported. And meanwhile, in Maryland, look at this. 6 illegal immigrants, 1 U.S. citizen just charged in the stabbing death of a 21-year-old. Now, according to statistics from the administration, during a 2-year period, 4,000 murders were committed by illegal immigrants in this country. 100,000 assaults carried out. 30,000 sexual crimes carried out. Each and every week, heroin is killing, opioids are killing approximately 300 Americans. 90% of heroin and now fentanyl are coming in through our southern border. This is a national security crisis. The president, he is absolutely right to make the border a priority. And that means we can prevent those drugs from getting in the hands of American kids. Now, the president is also dedicated to improving the quality of life for everyone in this country. And by the way, for all you conservatives that said Hannity is just supporting the president, I said, no, the president didn't give up on the border wall. He just changed strategies. And I've now been proven correct because the money has been reallocated. It is legal. It is constitutional. Now, despite significant gains in safety, security, prosperity of Americans here at home, you got Democrats, their number one supporters, contributors, allies in the media mob. They are seething with anger and pessimism and despair and even hoping for recessions openly. If you watch the terrible climate, oh my gosh, 7-hour disastrous marathon on fake news CNN this week, you heard Democrats mourning the destruction of planet Earth because of the evils of capitalism and plastic straws and, oh, the combustion engine. Others on the left are actively using the politics of race and division to stoke fear among American voters and divide us. That is a classic political tactic from Democrats and the media mob, but this year it's even more depraved than ever. Look at this, for example. Remember former ESPN commentator Jamel Hill, wrote an article calling for voluntary racial segregation in college sports in order to, quote, disrupt the reign of an amateur sports system that uses the labor of, quote, black folks to make, quote, white folks rich. Now, while Hill is using the politics of race to divide this country, one prominent author is stoking fear and resentment surrounding anybody who dares to wear any red hat. Any red hat, no writing on it. You have the Pulitzer-nominated author tweeting, quote, if anyone else made really uncomfortable these days by anyone wearing any kind of red baseball cap like I see on my heart does weird bleep, and I finally realize it only says Titleist or whatever. Maybe don't wear red caps anymore, normal people. I like red caps. And by the way, if you're a Boston Red Sox fan and a Cincinnati Reds fan, apparently your team's hats are scaring the snowflakes. They might think you might be one of us smelly Walmart shoppers. I love Walmart. I love Costco. I love those stores. They're great. You know why? You save money, you get the same products. And irredeemable deplorables that likes our president, that likes the success we're having, that likes the economy that's creating jobs and getting people off of food stamps, that made us energy independent for the first time in 75 years. Now, sadly, Trump derangement syndrome, it's become so bad. Trump donors, they're now being targeted with harassment and public shaming and boycotts. Former press secretary Sarah Sanders, now a Fox News contributor, we're glad to have her, a private citizen, still confronted in public by angry, psychotic, Trump-hating lunatics. Take a look.
You're out of the administration now. Are you still taking heat when you go out to eat?
Sometimes, you know, it usually depends on where I am in the country. Back home in Arkansas, things have so far been pretty easy and very welcoming.
What about here in New York City?
It's hit or miss. I have not been asked to leave any restaurant, thankfully, but every once in a while you always, you know, you have somebody who comes up to say something
like what?
Nasty to you.
Now, the vilification of political differences, that's got to stop. No one deserves to be harassed in their private lives. Unfortunately, the mob and the media is constantly stoking, well, this resentment because they just hate Trump every second, minute, hour of every 24-hour day, every week, every month, every year. Russia, Russia, stormy, stormy, racist, racist, impeachment, impeachment. Sharpie, Sharpie, Sharpie is the latest, that insane, obsessive, nonstop hysteria over drawing a map. According to Newsbusters on Wednesday, fake news CNN, and yes, MSDNC, the conspiracy network, dedicated a whopping 145 minutes of airtime to Sharpie coverage and analysis. And, of course, the breathless, hysterical reporting and attempt to make the president look bad. That's what they do. They're the ones who appear detached from reality. They're the ones that pretty much have pushed every lie, conspiracy theory, and a hoax for 2.5 years. Does the media mob not know how insane they look? Do they even care? Apparently not. They're now totally blinded by this anti-Trump rage. If Donald Trump cured cancer, I doubt they would say a good thing about it. The left's lunacy has now reached an all-time low.